Greetings, dear friends. Locke here. And today we find ourselves in a bit of a situation. Because the idea behind this channel was that Jason has had some success with using what people would call visualization skills. This has helped him to bend his personal reality. And we're not talking about some fantastical shit that you may have heard about on a few of the more popular YouTube channels in that space. Because while we do trust some of the information presented, and we appreciate all the stories, testimonials, and so on, it just seems that more and more, this space is starting to become all about building a cult-like following than anything else, even more than the holy ground of YouTube monetization. And that's most interesting, but with that type of pressure to keep turning out videos like some $20 hole, what do you think the outcome will be? Just what you see today. Internet hype machine. Half-truths. Sensational like horse piss. But we are not talking about everyone in the mental art space either. Nor do we think all sensationalism is negative. It's just with all the well-intentioned, but often misleading information out here in the wild of the internet, we thought that we could thread the needle of the middle path and build an audience of more serious-minded people. We thought that there was a real need for this kind of, let's call it grown-up spirituality. Well, the idea may still be valid, but all of our assumptions were wrong. Here's the problem. The Internet of Things, either by design or accident, or a goddamn cosmic joke, is making everyone dumber. This is an epidemic. And here's the rub. Intelligence and mental flexibility are the new currency now. Think about it. Technology is moving so fast that the new emerging elite are the ones that can learn a new skill. Technology. And trade in a matter of months, and become proficient in that new skill in a year, 16 months tops, and becoming proficient and flexible in this kind of new always learning mode has nothing to do with how old you are. Let me repeat that. Your age is a non-factor. Why, you ask? Because as modern neuroscience has discovered, your brain cell can live up to 200 years. This means that at the age of 50, you've only used 25% of mind energy, more or less, so spare us that cognitive decline bullshit. The majority of age-related mental issues have to do with shitty diets, poor sleeping habits, the stress from family, work, and money worries. Which leads us to the reason why you're watching this video right now. Because we've noticed that the channel is still growing, even without us doing anything for a few months. It's still growing, bit by bit. The videos aren't even in the right order anymore. And over the next few weeks, we need to reorganize this mess, and yet the channel still grows. And that's damn interesting. So, we want to keep with the spirit of experimentation that we began this channel with, and give you some more metaphysical fuel for your tank. Alright, it's to assist you on to fronts. One being mindset, and the other practice. Meanwhile, Jason found a new home for all of his downloads, meditations, and whatnot. So in the next few weeks, we're going to pull all our material together in one spot, and then grow from there. Like I said in the beginning, we were wrong about our assumptions. And those assumptions were that we had to move at a slower, methodical pace and dot all the I's and cross all the T's. And that was our error. You ladies and gents out there in the world are seeing change happening on a level that no one is able to keep up with. It makes you wonder, is this the singularity that scientists speak of? Maybe it is. Or perhaps that term is just a good placeholder. For the speed of chaotic change we are feeding, the world feels different. The sun feels different. The days are strange. In a way that seems almost unreal. All the cherished institutions of the Western world are feeling the strain. The strain of the fact that our entire civilization is built on a foundation of wet sand. And the kids coming up behind us are calling bullshit on the old system too. Just as they openly embrace an even crueler master of technological scientism. Can't you see it? The mill never stops grinding. The wheel, be it karma, astrology, or any other name, never stops spinning. And we're not saying it's a negative experience because you did come here. But what we're trying to tell you is that you don't have to play by the so-called rules, because those who wrote the rules of the current order, or at the least benefit from the current rules, don't necessarily have your best interest at heart. And this doesn't mean the CEO of your company drinks virgin teenage girls' blood on the weekends. It doesn't need to be all evil. You living a boring hunter existence may serve the current order just fine. Isolate yourself out of fear and piss poor social skills. Then live through a computer and stare at screens all day. Television screens, computer screens, your cell phone screen. Get older. Take meds. Keep going to boring-ass job to make fake debt currency. Rinse and repeat until you take an extended medical leave due to some sickness. Hopefully, your coworkers will take the day off to go to your funeral. And what about the gig economy, you ask? The so-called gig economy is the next to last step into turning the United States of America into a semi-third world nation. And that mission is all but accomplished, too. As the old folks used to say, all that's left is the shouting and the paperwork. This world is going to continue to do whatever the hell it wants to do. That's law. And those you think are in power are really just harnessing the energy of forgotten conclusions, which are in truth only probabilities. But since a wave of mass reality is heading down this path of greater disorder, we want no part of that path. And maybe you feel the same way. And if you do, did you know that you can exercise your option of voiding the contract? You can write up a new agreement in your mind and enforce it day after day until the law in your mind and the world around you starts to look the same. Up till now on this channel, we've given you a few audiobooks with some simple instructions to follow. But what's coming next is interactive exercises. That's some of the best work Jason has found out in the wild, including the mind magic that inspired all this back in 2007. So we'll see you again in a few days. Meanwhile, take damn good care of you. Look out.